Welcome to the second Stakeholders Forum. Before we start, just a couple of reminders. Please mute your microphones. And I would like to inform you as well that this session will be recorded and uploaded on the DEPLOYTOUR website and also on our YouTube channel. When it's available, we will share the link on our social media channels, mainly LinkedIn. So please follow us to receive updates and notifications, okay? Now, I would like to thank Ms. Kinga Katona from the European Commission for joining us today and agreeing to participate in the welcome of this second Stakeholder Forum. So I want to talk more. Kinga, you have the floor.
Thank you. So firstly, those driving, please be safe. So my name is Kinga Katona, and I'm part of the team in charge of the deployment of the data space for tourism within DG Connect at the European Commission. And I would like to thank the DEPLOYTOUR team for the opportunity to give some updates on recently adopted EU policies that are relevant to the European tourism sector and the whole ecosystem. So the data space for tourism is an important instrument for us to open up access to tourism data and to enable wider data sharing and reuse by economic actors in tourism, such as yourselves, also innovators and citizens. I would like to very quickly tell you about two policy areas which are giving new push and focus to the EU's reinforcing the policy frameworks and actions which have important implications for tourism. So as you may know, in 2021, the European Data Strategy set out the vision of creating a single market for data to strengthen Europe's competitiveness and data sovereignty. And now the recently adopted European Data Union strategy aims to take these ambitions and actions further. Its goal is to increase the availability of data for AI development and to allow for the simplification of EU data rules and to strengthen the EU's global position on international data flows. It also aims to help businesses, including SMEs, to get simpler and cheaper access to data sets and lower compliance costs, also to researchers and innovators who will get high quality data to train AI, and consumers will benefit from more innovation and new services. Another recently adopted policy trend is the Apply AI strategy. This strategy is building on the AI Continent Action Plan and on the EU's commitment to promote human-centric and trustworthy AI. And the strategy focuses on harnessing the transformative potential of AI for increased vertical integration. It aims to boost the use of AI, in particular among SMEs and small mid-caps, also to facilitate AI integration to enhance competitiveness of European industries, including tourism, of course. It also aims to encourage companies to consider AI as a primary solution to tackle challenges while also taking into consideration the benefits and the risks of the technology. As part of the strategy, the AI Alliance will ensure continuous dialogue with key sectors for the European economy and society, including the public sector, related to promising AI use cases and obstacles to their uptake. So building on the Apply AI Alliance, the Apply AI platform will offer organizations a place to express their interest in participating to sectoral consultative workshops, and it will organize annual gatherings on the use and uptake of AI solutions. The Alliance is serving as a central contact point between the Commission and the community to allow members to stay updated on the latest AI news, to share content, and also to network with peers. The Alliance is open to all stakeholders, such as yourselves, so companies, individual citizens, academics, civil society, governance, and also social partners. As part of the Apply AI strategy, the Apply AI Allowance will ensure continuous dialogue with key sectors for the European economy and society, promising AI use cases and their uptake. Further, with this alliance, the Commission will launch a European AI Observatory to support the organization of sectoral consultative workshops and provide robust indicators to assess the impact AI has across sectors and also assess the challenges these technologies might bring to the labor market. So the strategy is introducing sectoral flagships, including one for tourism. These are to boost AI in key industrial sectors of the European economy. And a series of live webinars will be organized to provide insights to the implementation of the strategy with explanations of sector-specific flagship actions and also discussions on cross-cutting enablers such as skills, investment, and innovation, and also to explore practical applications and use cases and the specific needs of the industries. So while tourism is not one of the focus industries of the Apply AI strategy, the sector is, of course, a very important driver of the European economy. And this is why the Commission will continue promoting the use of AI in tourism in a way that respects ethical practices and data privacy, fostering transparency and inclusiveness, while also driving important sustainable innovation forward. The upcoming seminars early next year, maybe you'll be interested in, will include mobility, automotive and energy sectors, climate and environment, for example. And we are also going to keep you updated, of course, about the webinars for the tourism sector, which are taking shape in the near future, because your contribution and participation is very important in shaping and driving our actions. So to conclude, I hope that you will all draw important benefits from this forum and the work the data space for tourism does in general. And I'm looking forward following the discussions of the rule book and roll book and the other aspects on the agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Kinga. We will have a participatory action at the end of each presentation. Now is the turn of Dolores Ordóñez, Director of AnySolution and Coordinator of the DEPLOYTOUR project. Dolores, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much, Kinga, for your words. It's always a pleasure to listen from the European Commission and also to listen how tourism is getting more importance. And I think this is also due to the fact not only to the numbers of the impact of tourism in the GDP, but also how the transversality on tourism affecting other sectors as mobility, cultural heritage, environment, and so on is taking every time more and more importance. And this is something that's why we created this stakeholder forum. So when we started implementing the project, what is important is, okay, we are a big consortium, so we are 43 partners, 30 member states, but at the end of the day, we want to build a common European tourism data space that involves and engage all tourism stakeholders. So, and for us, it's very important to have you all here. And that's why we really want to update and to let you know what we are doing at the level of the project. So we consider that these forums are a key point in the project. So we are not asking for a lot of time. So it's 2 times in a year that we organize these forums, but also it's a way that you know what we are doing, but we also know which are your requirements, which are your needs, and which are your perhaps doubts in data spaces that we can solve. So for us, it's also very important that you engage with us, contact us if you want also to have more information and to participate more actively in the Common European Tourism Data Space. So as you know, the project is running now for 1 year. I think we have already achieved milestones, deliverables that have been already produced. All the public deliverables of the project are available in our website. So please, all people interested in knowing more about the project, all these key documents are available in our website. So it's deploytour.eu. We have done very simple, so everybody can find it quite easily. And also today, what we want is to not only explain you in which point we are at the level of the project, but also to generate an engagement with you. So we want to participate and to listen from you. That's why in the agenda you have seen it's quite tight, as Olga has mentioned, but we have some Q&A sessions in which we really ask you to participate. We are going to work with the different partners, because what is also interesting for us in this stakeholder forum is that not only the work package leaders or the coordinator is speaking all the time, but also that you listen directly from the different partners. And today we have partners from Interella, from Amadeus, that are going to explain you key parts of the project, what is going to happen in this digital transformation, how data can help to unlock solutions and the challenges that tourism has, and also very important, which is the data space governance. And the role book has been already delivered, so you have already the deliverable 3.1. It's the role book, and you have it in our website. And we are now working in the rule book. So those things are going to be explained by Andreas and Eiler later on. So I don't want to take you more time, because we want to keep the agenda and the time. So thank you so much for being here, and please be active, contact us, use the chat to send us messages, and we're available for any doubt that you can have. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dolores. So now is time for the first presentation regarding digital transformation in tourist destinations and how data unlocks solutions to today's key challenges. The presentation will be done by Beatrice Dorenti from Interella. Beatrice, the floor is yours.
Hello, Olga. Actually, I will start with the presentation. Beatrice is sharing
I'm
the
so
screen.
sorry, my mistake. Apologies.
Don't worry,
Alessio.
don't worry. Thank you for giving me the floor. My name is Alessio Sidoti from Interella Consulting, and as I said, together with my colleague Beatrice Dorenti, in this session we will discuss the digital transformation of tourism destination. We will do it by presenting the findings from the Sustainable EU Tourism Project. So let me begin with a brief overview. Okay. This project has been funded by the European Commission, DG Move in particular, which has run for 2 years and is now entering in its final phase. I like to see this project as a follow-up of the Smart Tourism Destination project, funded again by the European Commission, which focused on the research, study, and capacity building to support destination in adopting digital and data-driven approaches. On the other hand, this project has been designed to support EU destination at the local level, mainly in becoming more sustainable and resilient, in alignment with a key strategy, which is the transition pathway for tourism. The project began with the identification and analysis of key challenges, and then has been followed by a mapping activity of concrete example or best practices of that successfully address the selected challenges. Building on this, and thanks also to the active involvement of stakeholders, the next step has been to foster collaboration among destination management organizations with the goal of co-developing solutions to shared challenges. In short, key activities concern the launch of a EU-wide survey to assess the current state of sustainable and resilient tourism, Second activity has been research and study to identify main sustainability challenges and mapping 50 best practices. Then the engagement of 100 destination management organizations across the EU in-person workshop in Brussels, as I said, to develop a collaborative project. We, in the context of this activity, we also produced a twinning toolkit, which is a kind of 6-step methodology to identify common challenges and co-develop solution. Finally, the project also produced a communication toolkit and materials to support destination and stakeholders in informing tourists about their sustainability journey. A few words just about the consortium. Alongside Interella as a project coordinator, we have Schultz and Friends, our communication partner, and then also AnySolution and the Center for Sustainable Tourism, mainly for the academic part. Let's now have a look at some of the project key content in the next slide, starting with the results of the initial survey, which collected responses from more than 220 destination management organizations across Europe. As you can see, the top challenges relate to how tourism affects the daily lives of residents and local communities. Other concern the economic dimension of the industry, of the destination, such as managing low season dynamics or dealing with the feature of the employment in the tourism sector. Equally important were the environmental impact, of course, from waste generation, pollution to pressure on natural resources. And then what, in general, what emerges is a very broad spectrum of impact and challenges in the sector, covering the different pillars of sustainable development. Indeed, this clustering, as you will see in the next slide, is also present in the research phase, where we mapped 31 challenges under the 4 macro dimension of the sustainable development. Each category includes several, of course, sub-dimensions and challenges. In short, the first one is economic issues such as seasonality or distribution of economic benefits. Then we have also environmental challenges, which are related to pressure on resources, pollution, as I said, as well as long-term protection of natural assets. Third area concerns the social one, which concerns impact on the residents' quality of life, cultural preservation, and for sure the community well-being. And then the last one concerns the governance, which is about coordination among stakeholders, also data availability in the destination, long-term planning capacity, and stakeholder participation and participatory decision-making and governance mechanism. In the next slide, we will see a focus on 4 selected challenges. They are not necessarily the most important, but we selected them in this occasion because they are relevant, because data and technology can play a key role in addressing them. So rather than describing these challenges that almost all people working in the sector will know, we'll instead share a few insights or lessons learned during the project and mainly during our discussion with the organization we engaged in the project. And this insight perhaps may inspire you to explore and replicate the solution that we mapped in the project. All contents are available in the project website as well as in the EU Tourism platform. Another key tool that I encourage you to explore to stay aligned with the progresses at EU and national level in the tourism sector. So very briefly, seasonality, the first one, remain the most important and widespread challenges for destination. It calls for solid approaches that go beyond, I would say, organizing events, and instead can see to rebalance tourism impact over space and time within destination. In this sense, we saw that regenerative approach based on data and technologies can help to address this challenge, also looking at long-term policies and at the collaboration with small and medium enterprises working in the sector within destination at local level. Other examples came out from the project include the development of the support in developing a smaller or emerging destination, which can absorb pressure while distributing tourism benefits more evenly within the local tourism ecosystem. Second challenge concerned the sustainable mobility solution. This challenge was widely discussed in the project, so we mapped also different kind of challenges within this area and also best practices. It was discussed a lot regarding coastal and mountain destination that for sustainability reason need to promote public transport solution. A few reflection on that. First of all, tourism and transport are at the core of the EU current strategic agenda, also in light of the appointment of the new EU commissioner. Second, tourism and transport are also key area for synergies between EU data spaces, and this again stress the key role of tourism and its link with other sectoral dimension of the destination. Third, sustainable mobility is becoming, in our view, in the view of the destination, a pillar of the green transition of destination, fostering the idea that sustainability is no longer just an ethical imperative. It is becoming even more a competitive advantage for destination. Third one is accessibility and inclusivity of services and facilities. I learned in the project how accessibility is not only physical, it is also, for example, cognitive or economic. Several destinations have already tested and validated technologies to address this challenge and position themselves as an accessible destination. Again, this combined with the green transition can represent a significant competitive advantage for destination, especially considering the aging population and the growth of the silver economy. Last point, the lack of knowledge and skill is particularly evident when it comes to data-driven approaches and the adoption of technologies. A key point here is that the tourism ecosystem is made up primarily of small and medium enterprises. Northern European destinations have already experimented, for example, with micro-credential to help close the skill gaps or with common owned technologies that simplify or I would say centralize their management. Also, I'm sure that EU funds and projects such as DEPLOYTOUR could play and will play a key role in strengthening these capabilities and supporting destination management organization and other stakeholders in their digital and green transition process. That's all from my side. Beatrice, please, the floor is yours for the rest of our presentation.
Thank you. So we talked about challenges, and we also mentioned some negative impacts that tourism can have, and this happens when tourism is not adequately managed. So of course, the key for destination management, a successful destination management, is to try to minimize these side effects and maximize the positive impacts. So today we would like to present you a selection of best practices in tourism management. Indeed, through the European through the Sustainable EU tourism projects and other ones, we came across several best practices. And today we would like to focus on those which are data-driven and based on digital solutions in order to give you an idea of the potential of an enhanced access to data for tourism management. So we grouped this best practice into 3 categories based on their aim. So the first one are the ones that are aimed at enhancing the tourism destination offer. Then the second are the ones useful for managing tourism flows. And last but not least, we have the ones for supporting an informed decision making. So let's immediately see the first examples. The first one is the example of Dublin. It developed the Dublin Discovery Trail app, which provides the user with guided trails through cultural storytelling matched with immersive augmented reality experiences. And it is, of course, aimed at getting people to know and enjoy the knowledge of the city. It's a successful solution. Indeed, the average usage time is of over 30 minutes per user. Then we can see the case of Torino. It developed a tourism virtual assistant that provides users with personalized recommendations on itineraries, things to do, and so on, based on their own preferences. Then we see the example of tourism best practices for managing tourism flows. The first case is that of Dubrovnik. It developed a machine learning system to predict the amount of people within the old town daily. Indeed, the old town is the most touristic part of the city. Moreover, they also installed sensors to actually monitor the number of people and eventually limit the accesses in case of overcrowding. This measure, together with others, aimed also at distributing visitors not only in space but also in time. So the aim was also to reduce seasonality. And actually, in 2022, the tourism flows showed a decrease in summer months and an increase in other months of the year. And in September, for example, there was an increase of visitors of over 170% in comparison to 2017. Next example is Barcelona. It provided a digital guide through an app, which has the benefit of telling real-time information about the crowding levels of touristic sites and ticket availability of attractions. The aim was, of course, to better distribute people within the city. And actually, the result is that this measure contributed to increased tourism acceptance within the city. Indeed, in 2023, 71% of the residents believed that tourism had a positive impact for their community. We now see the last group of examples. They are about providing data for informed decision-making. So the first case is that of Andalusia in Spain. It developed the platform Nexus Data, which provides data about tourism flows, but also preferences. And it can be used by businesses and public organizations to drive their offers and to better manage tourism. They are also developing an AI system that provides personalized analysis based on the prompts of the users. And of course, this AI system relies on the data of the platform. The results in this case is that since the use of the platform, public and private operators are relying more on evidences before taking decisions. And then last but not least, we have the case of Bruges in Belgium. The city collects data, but also performs surveys of residents in order to provide, to develop initiatives that are not only beneficial for the businesses and tourists, but also citizens. And the result here is that the city maintained a high quality of life and also kept under control the rising costs of living in comparison to other cities in Belgium, and despite being one of the most touristic sites of the country. So here, before concluding, I would like to just drive you the attention very quickly on the benefits that the tourism data space can have for destination management. So the aim of the data space is that of enhancing a single market for data for the tourism industry. So once this vision will become a reality, there will be an enhanced availability of data, more granularity, data from different subsectors and coming from different stakeholders. Moreover, the data space can also function as an enabler for connections and collaborators among tourism ecosystem players, because the concept of trust and the concept of exchange lie at the very core concept of the data space. So just a three last points to drive you the attention to why the European data space is a convenient way of sharing data. The first one is that data are standardized and interoperable because they are made available and they should comply with specific common formats. It provides a better control over data because the data owner can always decide the conditions of the exchange and whether to exchange or not with another partner. And finally, but not least, is the concept of trust. Indeed, there will be a governance authority, a governance authority of the data space who will manage the data space, and also partners will have to comply to specific governance rules that enable their authentication, transparency of exchanges, and ultimately trust. So the presentation is over. Here you have some references to the Sustainable EU project website and LinkedIn page in case you want to see them and explore a bit the resources. Okay, so now we can go to Q&A session. Since I think we're a bit in a rush, maybe I will take just a few of them if they are available. Otherwise, we can move towards the questions that we prepared to get you acquainted with the concept of data space.
Okay, thank you so much, Beatrice, for your presentation. Now we are going to start with the Q&A session.
Okay.
You can share the Mentimeter QR code. Okay.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I just already stopped my screen sharing, but you can all access the Mentimeter through the pop-up that you just see within the Zoom. Just clicking join, and then maybe also the link will be provided through the chat. Okay, so I think we can go with the first question. So this question is about envisioning the use of data space. So the question for you is, if the data space were already available and provided all the data you need, what would you use it for? So here you can use a word cloud. So just type one or a few words, and this will help us understanding the value of data space for stakeholders. So please type some of your ideas. Okay, perfect. I will just start commenting on these first two answers. So exactly, the amount of data that will be available will allow the possibility of estimating arrivals, so estimating how many people will be there. And also, this is, of course, very useful to plan better services, develop also new products, tourism products, and so on. Okay, so exactly, all these views are indeed the ones that we are also foreseeing and can be a bit sum up in the two concepts that we just commented. So I think we can move to the next one. Next question. So now I will provide you some questions about the demand side of the exchange and then the offering side of the exchange. So now let's see the demand side. So my question for you is, what types of data do you most wish to access through the European tourism data space? Here you have a multiple choice and you can select up to 3 options. Okay, so I see, not surprisingly, I would say that the behavior of tourists, it's something very, of course, useful for both the planning of tourism, but also for new product development, better services, and so on. I see that also tourism flows, as we also seen through the best practices, is something very, very relevant for destination management, mobility data as well, typology of tourists again. And also, I'm happy to see that there is also quite votes for resident satisfactions, because indeed it's very useful that tourism is always balanced among tourists and the people. So let's maybe move to the next question. Here, I would like to introduce you the concept of exchange, of the conditions of the exchange. So data can be provided upon conditions by users, and they can also be provided for free, but also upon a fee. So here we would like to know which of the data that we have just seen will be the ones that you would be the most willing to pay for. So here you have a ranking option. So you should drag up and down the options from the ones that you will be the most willing to pay for, and to the ones that you will be the least willing to pay for. Okay, and of course, this is, well, I'm happy to see that it doesn't exactly match the answers of the question before. So behavior of tourists was indeed very important. So probably something that you also are willing to pay for, but also resident satisfaction and emotions look something that it's really relevant. Okay. These results are very interesting. We will take them into consideration for the development of the data space. So now we can move to the other side, which is, as I was mentioned, about the offering. So here I would like to know always the same type of data, which are the ones that you will be the most willing to share. So here again, we have the ranking. So I would like you to mention which are the ones that you are the most willing to share through the data space, to the ones that you are the least willing to share. Of course, the data types are always the same among questions. Okay. It's interesting to see that the data type that was the most requested behavior of tourists is the one that you are the least willing to share. This might be due to several reasons, like, for example, that you don't have an availability of this data and that's why you want them, or maybe also the fact that it's a sensitive data and it's a very competitive one. Okay, now let's move to the next one. And here again, there is the concept of conditions of exchange. So you can offer your data, you can decide the conditions of the exchange. So here I would like to know whether you would provide your data for free or upon a fee. But also there is a third option, which is whether it depends on the requester and or the data used. Indeed, the data space can also provide this possibility, differentiating the conditions of the exchange based on the data use of the requester and the identity of the requester. Okay, and unsurprisingly, this flexibility is probably very appreciated, because I see that there is a clear majority for this third option. Okay, so we just can conclude with the next one, which is about how would you use the data space. The question here is, once the data space becomes available, how do you expect to prepare data sets compliant with the required data interoperability standards? So here we would like to know whether you will plan to prepare data sets internally with your own staff, or whether you may be seeking support from external data experts. Okay, I'm very happy to see that the vast majority is about preparing data sets internally, which means that there is already a good level of capability of data management within your organizations. So once the data space will be ready, we can't wait to see your data uploaded there and helping building a more competitive tourism ecosystem. So I think we are done with our questions. Thank you for your great participation.
Thank you, Beatrice, and thank you all for your participation. And now it's time to know a bit more about the rule book. So please, Andreas Eisenrauch from Amadeus, the floor is yours. Thank you. Andreas, can you hear us? Hello, Andreas? Well, Aylar, I don't know if you can, I have the presentation just in case, so I can share the presentation if you don't have it until Andreas is with us.
Sure, you can start sharing the presentation, and just in case, Andreas, you are muted, so I don't know if it's just a matter of the mic.
Okay. Give me 1 second, please.
Thank you, Olga. He just pinged me internally. He was disconnected to the call, so I can take over until he comes back. Here he is. Andreas, you are still muted.
I was connected all of a sudden when Beatrice stopped sharing. So
okay,
it's my turn. Yeah. Okay.
Can you share your screen, please?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Do it. So finding the right screen. Due to the disconnection, it's a bit. So this should be the right screen. So, do you see it?
Yes, but it's not in full presentation mode.
It should come. It's rendering. Now it should be there.
Okay, perfect.
Oh, very sorry, Jan. Yes. Yeah, welcome to this second session. My name is Andreas Eisenrauch. I'm coordinating the work package 3, dealing with the governance framework in DEPLOYTOUR. And we might have now, in a few slides, a look to what we are doing. The short agenda is a very short introduction into the DEPLOYTOUR governance framework concept. Then we look a bit to the purposes and the structure of the rulebook. The deliverable we finished already, as Dolores mentioned previously. Two practical examples where the rulebook can serve, and subsequently, we have also prepared an interactive exercise using the Mentimeter. So, for what is governance needed? Governance is always needed when stakeholders, partners, clients have to interact. In our case of a touristic data space, in the center is the touristic use cases, where, as we have heard before, all the problem solving, the innovation, nowadays under considering artificial intelligence applications should take place. They have to be surrounded by a lot of supportive activities based on value propositions that a data space has to or should offer to its participants. They can expect a trustful technical infrastructure, administration that guides to trust, and a lot of support and services which we will look to a bit later. And all is somehow put together by a governance framework. In DEPLOYTOUR, it has 2 pillars. The role book is an inventory of actor profiles and their responsibilities. And the rule book will contain all the detailed advice and rules and recommendations that should guide the participants to compliant and trustful behavior. As mentioned before, the rule book is an ongoing activity until summer next year, but the rule book is already finished and is visible in the deliverable section that has been indicated in the chat. I saw. Thanks a lot, and we will have a short look to what the rule book means and is valid for. Yeah. The rule book summarizes almost everything what has to be done in a data space. It sets up profiles of roles that should execute all these activities. Yeah, and it highlights who should support dependencies and the conditions, restrictions, competencies under which such all the tasks have to be executed. It helps especially to make explicit many implicitly known or imaginated areas. For example, all the necessary external relationships. No? A data space is a mini ecosystem for its own, but our intention is to be connected to the 13 other common European data spaces and to many other bigger or smaller stakeholders in the ecosystem, including SMEs, for example, and our role descriptions point to these necessities to look to the broader external ecosystem or to the smallest and perhaps weakest participants to serve all their needs. Therefore, it is a comprehensive overview over the from the governance viewpoint, and it has another let's say purpose to reduce misunderstandings. No? There is always not always, there is a imaginable discrepancy between governance on one hand and the promised sovereignty on the other hand. And describing the competencies and the restrictions that particular players face when acting in a data space, describing these features is very important to clarify that. No? I may refer to the last Mentimeter figure where many partners said we prepare our data inside our organization before publishing it. This is exactly written in the role book. The first responsible for quality and of data is the party that owns the data, of course. This does not exclude that the data space will help them if they need help. Yeah, I come back with that to the youth services area mentioned before. Yeah, but first choice is those who own the data have to take care about it, and then other stakeholders might come and help. So let's look a bit into the details of the role book. We characterized 20 roles. The first group is the roles directly involved in data sharing, all in red. Directly involved in data sharing is also some roles which are on the bottom in the section of supportive roles, for example, member states or the European Commission as policymakers should somehow be on board, and all the tourism organizations that are already in contact with bigger entities or the smallest entities, and where the real challenges pop up first, and which identify pain points and solutions, and send their members then as data provider, as data consumer or service provider into the data space. And another point that is might be worth to be mentioned, the data space is not only an administrative or a technological supportive entity, but it should be, let's say, the center of communication, of networking, of collaboration, and we summarize this in the role of the use case coordination experts that really should provide forums, formats where the people, where the stakeholders speak together, work together, and learn to innovate together. And this will then, those activities will then supported by the more or less administrative roles, by legal experts, by financial experts, and by all the three roles we have here for the technical support. That is very important. Good. For what can a rulebook help? We had in mind to prepare for a training for our pilots, and they popped up. Oh, contracts. Yeah, who has to close agreements or contracts with others? Yeah, this is written in the rulebook. We have here the four most important. The most first is if a participant enters the data space, they have to close a membership contract where they agree with codes of conduct, where they agree to use standard technology that is provided, and much more things. Then maybe really the most important one is the data sharing contracts between participants. This has the specificity that it will be automated. The contract closing will take place in the technology setup, making sure that objective criteria for data sharing set by the data provider according to its sovereignty is checked against the features, the attributes of the potential consumer, and if all the things match, then the contract can be closed. And this is also a matter, this objective attribute mapping is also a contribution to equality, non-discriminatory behavior of contract closing. Another very important agreement in the future will be that of the tourism data space with whatever related other data space. There will be there must be agreements, for example, on when is a member approvable, eligible. This has to be mapped. If there is a discrepancy, one are a bit more strict and the others are less. They have to agree on the actual conditions of mutual membership acceptance. The same holds for technical features like semantic interaction, transaction acknowledgement, and such things. And the fourth one I want to highlight here is a bit within use case teams, groups of data providers, data consumers. there is an agreement necessary to figure out who has to do what, which rights of usage of the outcomes are there, which maintenance in the future has to be done, and regarding the actual contributions that have to take place, that are expected. And another point is, of course, the onboarding. Onboarding is maybe the most important process in the administrative part, because here trust is initiated. And for this we can see here a split of the governance authority into two parts. The first one is the so-called governance authority in the narrower sense, that is somehow we can expect that this will be a member assembly that really sets the fundamentals, the final criteria for onboarding, obligations and rights of members, and the design of the mentioned membership contract. The actual onboarding is then executed by what we call the data space executive. They do some pre-onboarding activities. The full onboarding process has 7 steps currently in our drafts. It collects and validates the credential of a participant to see, yeah, this company, this university is really what they claim, yeah, and based on these negotiations or checks that should be ideally also machine readable and system based, there will be an approval or disapproval. The participants, the candidates, of course, they have to provide the required credentials and the necessary proof for that, if available, and then they have to re-sign and follow the membership contracts, the conditions, and full onboarding. For full onboarding, they will have then let's say the technical onboarding part, getting the connector that on the other hand is prepared by the technical experts via different steps, including testing and support. So I hope I'm still in time, and I invite you to check into the other Mentimeter we provided. I will hand over to my colleague Ayla Kurbanova, who will guide you through this second part of our governance talk. Thanks a lot so far.
Thank you, Andreas. So yes, we will be using the same tool as we did for Beatrice and Alessio part. I think you can move to the Mentimeter activity, please, Rosa. Thank you so much. So on your screen, you can join the Mentimeter or with the QR code provided by Andreas. So to start, we would like to hear from you on 6 questions. The first one is the first one is a single choice. So what do you consider the most important role of a governance framework in a tourism data space? Oh, I see already some answers. Thank you. For sure, defining clear rules for data sharing and usage is important. And by the way, there are no wrong answers, so all the answers are relevant. It's just to understand what is the most important for you, since we have several type of stakeholders, and the data space is meant to include all of them. Okay, so I see defining clear rules for data sharing and usage is still the preferable choice. Thank you. I think we can move forward to the next one, just for the sake of time. So here you can choose by ranking which governance service would you expect as most valuable. So you have certification of participants, consent, contract templates, monitoring, help desk, and the onboarding process. And I thank the participant that can still stay here for a few minutes just to end the Mentimeter. Thank you. So I see consent and personal data management tools is the preferable choice. And I believe, yes, Andreas? Okay, all right. Oh, okay, we have an interesting one. The contract templates for data sharing is important for you. Okay, it's the most valuable. So it's between both the personal data management and the contract templates. Thank you. I think we can move to the next one. Thank you so much. So here is the same way. It's a ranking on what would make you trust the governance framework most. So is it the audit and certification, sanctions for rule violations, transparent decision-making process, a strong alignment with the European legal framework, the community involvement, or verified partners? Thank you. So I think we have the most important for you is the transparent decision-making processes, which is, as mentioned earlier, there are no false responses. It's just to understand what is the most important for you. So yes, transparent decision-making processes remains the most important. Thank you. So I think we can move to the next one. We can skip this one, I believe, just for the matter of time. Thank you so much. So here it's a single choice. How should governance decision be made? Is it by a central authority, through a multi-stakeholder board, democratic voting, or based on automated rule engines? Okay, then I think we have same situation. Oh, all right, interesting. Through a multi-stakeholder board, but it's in, let's say, in the same way as via democratic voting among participants. And then we can move to the last but not least. Here you can enter a word on what is your biggest concern about governance in the European tourism data space. It is limited to 25 characters, so you can just say in few words what is your biggest concern. Yes, indeed, the bureaucracy. Relevance. The onboarding, of course, yes. The role of big players, but also how to include maybe the SMEs, which are working all at their own level. Self-interest, no data to share, not working good. All right, that's very interesting. So thank you so much for sharing your views. This insight will help us to shape the governance framework and ensure it reflects stakeholder priorities, because of course we are building the tourism data space for you, for different stakeholders, and where data sharing benefits everyone, destinations, businesses, and travelers. So your input today is essential to make this vision real and useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Eiler, and thank you all of you for your participation. We are completely out of time, but Dolores, if you want to say a final thank you, the floor is yours.
Yes, for sure, Olga. Well, thank you so much to all the speakers. I think it has been very interesting. We have gathered a lot of very insightful information. As mentioned at the beginning, we are here to collaborate with you. We want to also to strengthen the links and collaboration with you. So please come back to us if you have any doubt, if you want to receive more information, anything that you need from the Common European Tourism Data Space. We are here to also to help you. And of course, don't forget to visit our website, our social network in LinkedIn, because we are publishing there all the events and all the activities that we are doing, as well as the deliverables. And we will keep you informed for the next stakeholder forum that will take at the beginning of next year. So you will receive the please keep update through the social networks and the website. Nothing else. If we don't see each other, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, and have a nice day. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.